Hello, welcome to another opportunity for us to discuss in DPA an aspect of this complex topic of marriage and the law in Nigeria. Many of you have asked me so many questions, and I'm going to use this opportunity to discuss one particular question and my explanations on the specific question, and that has to do with the question of the best time to file for divorce. As you know, people don't just go straight and file for divorce. Every marriage, every relationship, but particularly marriage, involves periods of disagreement, periods of disharmony in the union. Whenever you put people together to live together, they were strangers before, they then came together and they became husband and wife and they begin to live together. It involves tremendous adjustments in their individual ways of life before they came together. So, in any marriage, you are going to expect this recurrent cycle of a period of peace, a period of disagreement, and then reconciliation. We can call these three elements in this cycle the harmony, period of disharmony, and repair. So it just keeps on going that way. They will be together and united and happy. There will be a period of disagreement, and then there will be a process of repair or reconciliation, and it just keeps on going that way. But time may come when repair is impossible, when the process of repairing the disagreement or the process of reconciliation is difficult in a marriage. That could be either because the subject matter of disharmony is so intense that it is beyond the capacity of the individuals to repair. It has gone too far, or it is too serious that they cannot repair it within the processes they are used to. They can't talk over it, either because there is a total breakdown in communication or because there is an involvement of a third party, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or an unduly influential parent-in-law. Mother-in-law on either side could be a factor that makes it difficult for this couple to repair the problem, repair their marriage, without, and then continue the cycle of harmony, disharmony, and repair. And sometimes we try, or they try, different mechanisms of repair. Sometimes it could be done between the two of them. Sometimes they involve a third party, and that third party could be the family or the church. Or sometimes none of these repair mechanisms could work, and they decide to move apart. They decide to separate. And it takes the form of filing of a divorce petition by either of them. So many people ask me, when is the best time to file for divorce? And I say, well, it depends on the facts of your case. It also depends on whether you understand that filing a divorce petition is not necessarily the end of the marriage. Why is it so? Because the first thing every divorce court, every family court will do when you present a divorce petition, the first thing the court is going to do is to force the couple back to negotiation table. And this is why in divorce cases you hear of compulsory conference. Compulsory conference. Why is it compulsory? Because the court, the family court, is mandated by law to first try to reconcile the two of you. In order for the court to determine that the marriage had broken down irretrievably, the court must make an effort to try to reconcile you. Unfortunately, many lawyers, family law lawyers, don't understand the importance of this reconciliation effort. You must give it a chance. You must create an opportunity for these people to come together, to talk, to table their differences, guided by their respective lawyers and observed by the court, monitored by the court. So, when you file for divorce, that's not the end of it. It's going to bring your spouse to the table. Your spouse will be guided by his or her lawyer. You'll be guided by your own lawyer. That is the time for you to table what you want. Table the terms that you accept. He will table his own terms. And if after that you are not able to reconcile, it is a clear indication that the marriage has broken down irretrievably. You yourself will be satisfied that you've done all you could. He too will be satisfied that he had done all he could to see if this union could continue, but it failed. That is when you come back to court and say, my Lord, we've done everything we could to try to put this couple together, and we failed. And the judge will at that moment accept that the marriage had broken down irretrievably. So even when you are not able to reconcile, it's very important to have this conference because it enables you to understand areas of agreement. Because even if you cannot remain in the marriage as husband and wife, there are other issues that you need to seek to agree upon. You have the issue of custody of the children. You have the issue of support for the children. You have the issue of how to handle property that belongs to both of you, and other issues, including the issue of returning bride price. For those of you who consider returning bride price necessary, you can discuss that during the settlement process. You can actually get it sorted out so that when you come to court, you say, my Lord, this party agreed on 1, 2, 3, 4, but they couldn't agree on remaining husband and wife. So the court will adopt the agreement and focus on the issue they couldn't agree upon. And that will be the question of the continuation of the marriage. So the court will dissolve the marriage and adopt the parties' terms regarding the other issues. So when you ask me, when is the best time to file for divorce? I will tell you this. When your husband or your wife, but let me say husband, when your husband has done that thing you know you can never accept, when he has done that thing you know you can never accept, that is the time to file for divorce. For instance, your husband goes and begins to live with a girlfriend. He doesn't want to separate with the girlfriend. You try everything. You go to the pastor, you go to the family. You want him to end that relationship with his girlfriend. Your husband says no. He says, no. I can't live without my girlfriend. Or he goes further and tries to marry his girlfriend. Can you imagine? Your husband tries to force you into a polygamy. When that happens, file for divorce. What are you waiting for? File for divorce. It is important to file for divorce at your own perfect timing. Timing is of essence. Also, forum is of essence. What is forum? Forum is the court you choose to file in. In Nigeria, all the high courts have jurisdiction to dissolve any marriage celebrated in Nigeria. So, your husband, you're living in Lagos, your husband could actually go and file in Maiduguri just to make life difficult for you. So, do not wait for him to be ready, because he may not have grounds against you. If your husband is the one cheating, if your husband is the one committing adultery, He doesn't have a ground to divorce you today. He can't initiate a divorce against you based on his own adulterous behavior. No, he can't. He can't do that. He will start waiting to have a ground. And what ground will your husband have? He will stay away from you, stay with his girlfriend for the next 2-3 years. Then he has a ground, and that ground is ground of separation. What will he do? He will file somewhere away from where you live. He will file in another state, far away from where you live. And then you start traveling to that state. You incur an additional cost and burden of traveling to that state. But it's not just the cost of traveling. All your witnesses, all those people who will support your side of the story live where you live. They can't travel out of state. So invariably, you are going to respond to a divorce filed by your husband without evidence on your part, without witnesses on your part. So you're going to lose. You won't be able to present your story the way it should be presented. So, if you come to that point where your husband or spouse has done that thing you know you can't ever live with, file for divorce. If your husband marries a second wife and you know you will never be in a polygamous relationship, file for divorce. We see these things in many cases. DPA is handling a case today, a case in Asaba. Husband left his wife in Asaba, moved in with a girlfriend in Lagos. Back and forth. It's clear he's with a girlfriend. It's clear he abandoned his family. So his wife in Asaba is asking us, what do I do? There's nothing to do. File for divorce. When you file for divorce in Asaba, the court will force you to negotiate, to discuss. Then your lawyer and his lawyer and you and he will sit down and discuss in Asaba, where you live. If necessary, your witnesses are in Asaba. You win your case there on good terms. But now you wait. You don't want to be the one that filed for divorce. You are waiting. So the guy stays in Lagos with his girlfriend until he's ready. When he's ready, he will file in Lagos. When he files in Lagos, you are messed up. You'll be traveling from Asaba to Lagos to defend the case, but you can't come with any of your witnesses in Asaba. So the case will end on terms favorable to him. So file, unless you have decided to accept polygamy. Then you ask your husband, well, I know you are with another woman in Lagos. What are your plans? Are you planning to marry her? Because if you are planning to marry her, I'm okay with it and I can accept polygamy. If you do so, fantastic. If you want to accept that, accept that. But if you know you will never accept that polygamous relationship, if you know you will never accept the idea of your husband living with another woman in another state, file for divorce immediately. That's all I can tell you today about the question of timing. Thank you.